FansToys Rouge. Rouge. Not Rogue. Don't call it Rogue. It makes people mad. Initial impressions right as you take it out of the box are pretty good, at least to me. She has a nice weight to her. There's lots of die cast in her, especially all along the legs and the feet and the chest. That's a thing that happens right there quite a bit. The problem is the pegs in the bottom don't really tab in super well. And it's not like it's difficult to put it back together, but it just kind of tends to pop out some when you're fiddling with it, so I'm sure it'll pop out again.
She has this gap in the side that really bothers some people, although it hasn't really bothered me that much, but it's notable.
She looks great. She's covered in paint, although the paint chips have already started. I had quite a dust on me when I transformed this. And the first accessory we have is a new chest plate. She comes installed with this one here, giving her boobs. But she has a more regular robot looking one here. And to swap out the chest plate, pop it out, turn it over. Pick it up. The screws in first. Alright. After I got it transformed to car mode, I noticed something was missing. You need to make sure to take out these two screws and swap this out as well. I'd also note this whole piece here just came off at one point, like after I transformed it. So these screws don't have a lot of bite into the piece underneath, so you really need to make sure you screw it all the way down. And there you go, a little less ridiculous. She also comes with an alternate set of hands that don't have the peg, so if you don't want her to hold any weapons at all, you can use those and kind of get rid of the unsightly peg there. Her rifle comes in two parts. Just slide it on, easy peasy. She holds her guns really well on that peg. They're a little different, not what you would expect. There's a little slot on the inside of the handles. So bend her hand all the way back. Slot that in. Then fold it over. Little gray gun works the same, has lots of great little details on it. Really cool to see weapons this small get that ton of paint. She has a variety of alternate faces, including an O face. They're all pretty minorly different, other than the red ones. So they just have the eyes are different sizes, the nose are different sizes, the lips are different sizes. So your pick. Her articulation is mostly good. The big problem is there's no waist swivel, and that's just really kind of odd to skip out on this. And the way it transforms, I see why it's not there. You can see here at the back it's all linked together, but they could have put one down at the pelvis or something. And it keeps making me think that I'm missing it, but no, there's nothing there. And again, that flops apart. But as far as the look and the style goes, she looks awesome. She's dead on what I wanted in a masterpiece Arcee. The rest of the articulation is totally fine. She's very dynamic with thighs, ankles, toes, wrists, biceps. Head can look everywhere, although head likes to come untabbed when you're looking around. And then of course the rest of the chest comes apart too. Only other thing to note in robot mode are the backpacks don't really click in, unfortunately. They just kind of float. I mean, and they stay in place enough. The armatures are die cast as well, and they hold it fine. The little clips here don't clip in super great either. It's kind of minor. But yeah, she really has that masterpiece feel due to the finish on this. So let's go to transformation.
So what you're seeing here is my very first time transforming it. It's more intuitive than you might think, but that isn't to say that it's super easy. The entire shell of the car is actually fit up into those shoulders, and it gets really fiddly and spindly. It doesn't help that the die-cast armatures actually have to move past plastic to get it to all unfold properly. The part that actually took me the longest was getting the car fronts out from the chest. Once I figured that out, the rest of it actually went pretty good.
So make sure the armatures are pointed up, because that's the only way you're going to have clearance. Separate them, push one side up and over, and then that one will finally slide down. And then with all that space, you can get the other one down and out of the way too.
Unfortunately, there was quite a bit of paint chipping as I went along. I don't know if there's much you can do about that with a figure that's painted this heavy. The legs I actually found pretty cool. They're big solid pieces, so they're easy to work with, and the way they snug up into the back is pretty neat. Once you finally get it done and it's all laid out underneath, it doesn't really fit in as well as I would like. Like it fits, it just doesn't clip into place very well. It still kind of holds together, to be honest, but it feels like it could be a little bit better. The arms and the hands in particular kind of stick out a bit, but it does well enough. Overall, the transformation might not be as bad as reported, but it's still not very good. It took me about 35 minutes to get this guy into car mode the first time, without instructions, of course. Getting it back into robot mode took me about 25 minutes, 20 or 25 minutes, and that was with some distractions and not really focusing on it very hard. So, it's like anything else, it'll get quicker the more you do it. And it is doable, but still just not super fun. Not as bad as Coot was, though.
I would like to point out that I transformed Coot again just for this comparison shot. This thing is still not very fun. In car mode overall, I think she's pretty slick, to be honest. Not perfect, but as far as Arcee goes, especially G1 inspired, I'm pretty content. The biggest flaw is the inside of the car. It's pretty gappy. You can see right through in some places, but that said, there is still obviously 2 seats. There is a steering wheel, nice chrome steering wheel. We got the blue windshield. I feel it looks really nice displayed with the other guys. Sometimes the legs like to fall out, especially near the front. It looks like there's tabs where they should peg in, but it looks like the feet should peg in there. That's really a screw hole, so it kind of sort of holds it, not really. Maybe this view will help anybody else that wants to transform this crazy thing. Has some awesome detail work on the back. Great paint work with all the lights there, and a lot of good paint overall that really comes through. We have the cool spoiler, some little detailing there with the lights on the inside on the console, and again, a great looking profile on the front. It doesn't roll super well. It does sit flat, but it's kind of and I mean, you can see right here that it's barely clearancing, if at all. There's just really nowhere good for the hands to go. I don't care what the instructions say. Not that I would know. Probably the only other thing I don't like about the car mode is it's just some paint chipping come through, especially right there. I think this is going to kind of be like a lot of Masterpiece toys that have wonderful paint on them, though. The more you play with them, the more it might chip. Final thoughts? Mixed bag. As far as on a shelf, she's awesome. She looks good in both modes. Obviously, I think the robot mode is stronger. The car mode is still really good for what G1 Arcee is. I'm happy with it, but again, it's not perfect. The gaps in the car are kind of bad. Good bit of paint chips, and that will just get worse with time, I'm sure. But so does a lot of Takara ones as well, so I'm kind of used to it for the line. I don't know, maybe I'm making excuses to justify my purchase. I don't know. She's got a lot of great detail on her in both modes. The finish really makes it pop. She fits in great with both official and unofficial Masterpiece figures. Transformation, obviously, not the best. I was able to do it without instructions. There were a couple little hairy areas. It's very fiddly. You've seen it unfolded and it just looks like a mess. But I was able to figure it out. And honestly, even I think the legs are actually kind of fun. I like how they work. But the backpacks here would that pretty much contain the entirety of the car. I don't know a better way to do an Arcee. So not the best transformation, but serviceable. The transformation's better than Coot, at least, I think. Coming off that Gabriel high, I think it's kind of hard to match that. So should you buy it? If you're looking for a G1 Arcee for your Masterpiece shelf, I would say yes. She's the best thing on the market right now. The Twirled one is a joke. She nails the look. If you're looking for something fun to flip back and forth, I wouldn't get this. If you're looking for something that looks awesome on the shelf, that fits in with your Masterpiece good, that is transformable, then I would get this. I don't know of any other Arcees coming down the pipe. Unless Takara or another third party announces something, I think this is the only real choice in the game right now, and no one else has said anything, so.
TFCon Canada's going on right now, and I forgot all about MMC's Azalea, their Studio Ox inspired Masterpiece Arcee. So it looks like it's probably going to be a cool toy, a fun toy, but I don't think it's cartoon accurate for my collection. But that is another option that is out there that will probably fit in well enough. So keep that in mind.
To quote Bobby, it's a soft recommend depending on what you like to do with your toys. I'm content with my purchase just because she looks so damn good. And she comes with a bunch of accessories. Most of them are cool. A couple of them are groaning and make me embarrassed to be part of the fandom sometimes. But I guess they do it for somebody. Ugh. And the biggest flaw in robot mode is just that thing not tabbing in. The gap at the side doesn't really even bother me that much, but I just wish it would tab in better. But that's it. See you next time.